my fellow crafters, and welcome to Inspiration for Cards. Today I'm going to be making a planner page in my planner, and I'm using the prompts from the group from Elizabeth Craft Design, the planners and journaling group. And there's a challenge in there. Every month we get a prompt and we need to use that prompt to make a page. Last month it was monochromatic and I made this page, monochromatic all blues. And for February, the challenge is to do a numbers. The prompt is numbers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through my planner, find my February page, because what I want to do is use this prompt to make my February dashboard page. Now I'm going to be using lots of different products. But mainly what you see here. I'm going to be working with texture pastes, embossing powders, sprays, and a lot of different dyes. I'm going to talk you through everything that we're going to do, but I'm going to start with putting some texture paste on my planner page. Now, what I want to do, I want to protect some bits of the back side. So I'm going to use some Post-it tape because I don't want any of these sprays to contaminate the back of this page. So I'm going to use some Post-it tape to make a border so it doesn't leak through underneath to there. Okay, so I've got my back page covered. Okay, then what I did, I went through all my dies, etc., and we've got a lot of number dies from Elizabeth Craft Design, but those were for me the obvious choice. So I decided to go a different route, and I took all the different number dies from these two pages, the large numbers and the letters and numbers, and I decided to make my own stencil from that. That's this one. And I've cut out the numbers in a different order, and I used Yupo paper because Yupo paper is plastic. I thought that would work. So this is going to be my stencil. So let me make some space. And then I'm going to put this stencil on my paper. Now I've got to be careful. Let me get another piece of Post-it tape because I want this February obviously not to be covered in paste. So let me just put a piece of Post-it tape over that. There, covered. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on here. Just see how I like the composition. Like this. I'm going to take a palette knife and I've got some Distress Crackle paste here. So I want this page to have a lot of structure, not just from the paste and the numbers, but also within the cracks from the Crackle paste. So push this down, and I'm just gonna put this on. So I'm just gonna scrape, push, push, scrape, push, scrape, push. Make sure it's all in there. It's in all the different details from the numbers. And because it's Crackle paste, I don't want it to be on there too thin because I want the crackles to really start coming through. So different thickness will work as well. And I'm not going to go too far into where the holes are because I just don't see the point of putting too much structure there. I'm just going to keep the holes clean, if that makes sense. Peel off the stencil, and that will reveal our numbers. Now it doesn't have to be neat for me. I think this is nice how it looks. It's still recognizable as numbers, which is the point. Just gonna take a baby wipe and quickly clean off this stencil, because you never know if I want to use it again. Okay, so I quickly cleaned this off. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a scrap piece of paper and I'm going to put this on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use embossing powders. Now I'm using Salvaged Patina from the Distress Glaze, and I'm just going to sprinkle that all over in certain areas. So I'm not covering it all with one color, but just making a bit of a mix. And because this paste is still a bit sticky, it sticks on there. So I want a bit of each color on each number. Now, clean off my fingers, because I don't want Salvaged Patina in my vintage photo. And I'm going to do the same with vintage photo. Just sprinkle it over the numbers, trying to sort of cover everything. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's a bit of a grungy style anyway, and we're going to do something to make sure that that embossing powder is everywhere, so that's going to be fine. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pick it up and as Tim Holtz says, do a happy dance underneath. And that happy dance will make sure that all that embossing powder is moving and making sure it covers all the bits, and then we're going to tap it off. And there we have it all nicely covered. Now you see a bit here that's not covered, which is not an issue at all, because it's that's going to be crackled and fun. So I'm going to put my embossing powder. Now this goes in the bin, because this looks like a hot mess when you use that. So that's that. And now I'm going to let this dry as much as possible. While it dries, you will get the crackle, and it's already starting to happen here. Apparently this was a bit thin. I don't know if you can see it. The crackle already starts to come. So I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to let that dry a bit. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to die cut out some bits and bobs. I will use some elements from the planner labels and stamps, this one, and I will cut out the month February from this set, and there's another one that I want to use, but I don't know where I put it now, but I will get to that. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I will be back when everything is die cut and when this is dry, and then we will continue. Okay, what I've done, I've die cut out some different bits and bobs. I found the other set that I wanted to use. From the Planner Essentials 41, I'm using this strip with the numbers, that's this one. And from the number borders, I've cut out this label. And the other stuff I've already showed you. So that's going to be the bits and bobs that I'm going to put on there. What I've done, I've got this little thingy that I've used to rough up the edges of the picture and that label. And then I used Vintage Photo Distress ink to color all the edges and to rough that up a bit. But now it's time to go to this beauty. It's not 100% dry yet, I'm impatient, but it's starting to crack already in some places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heat tool. The Sizzix heat tool has two settings, 1 and 2. I'm going to go on the low setting, and I'm going to dry this and melt the embossing powder at the same time, giving it a very cool effect. And I'll speed this process up so you don't have to watch me do this constantly. Okay, this looks so cool. Look at that structure in these numbers from the Crackle paste with the embossing powder on top. Love it. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my splatter box. I'm going to put this in there. Like this. And we're going to play with Oxide sprays. Now I'm going to shake these up. And I'm going to start with Salvaged Patina. Love that color. And I'm just going to randomly spray some on there. Some more Salvaged Patina. Okay, next I'm going to take my water spray. And I'm going to spray this with water until I see some movement happening. And then I'm going to move that around. So I get a cool effect around the numbers where color will build up. And then I'm going to take my heat tool and I'm going to dry it. And I'm picking it up because I want the drips to happen. I want the drips to show. And what will happen is that the embossing powder will resist the spray. So I'm going to look now. I'm going to tap off some of the excess water. And then I'm going to see where I want some more. And I want some more at the top here. Maybe some more here. Spray with some water. Let it move a bit. Tiny bit more water. I'll let that flow to the top a bit. And I'm gonna dry again. And because I've layered the colors, you get a bit more depth in it. So wet on wet blends, wet on dry, you build layers. And that's what I've done here. Dried it, put some new layers on. I'm gonna take off some of this. Okay, I think this is dry enough. So I'm done with the splatter box. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a clean paper towel, put that over and press it down. And this will take off all the excess color from that embossing. But look at what it did to that crackle. It looks fantastic. At least I think so. So, having done that, I just want to wet this a bit because it's distress. You can also lift color. That's what I want to do here because I want this February to be standing out a bit more. So I'm wetting that some more. There, you can see the February a little bit better now. Right, what I want to do next is take my distress sprayer, and what I like about this sprayer is if you spray it and commit fully, you get a full mist of sprays. But if you press it slowly and halfway, you get drips. I'll show you. See what I'm doing? And because this is distress oxide, it will respond. It's water reactive. I'm quickly drying now. I don't want it to be fully dry, but I just want these edges to be dry, the edges of the splatters to be dry a bit, because that will give me some nice color. You see what I mean? And I will take off the rest of the color. So you see, by doing it like that, putting splatters on and drying it, you get these darker edges around the splatters. And then when you take the splatter off, it will be lighter. There. So I'm gonna dry this completely now because I want it to be dry before I put anything else on there. But the background is really coming together now. And while this is drying, I can take off the back of that post-it tape. And it really worked because it's nice and clean, as you can see. There we go. Yeah, so the back page is nice and clean. I will cover it up, of course, because you can still see some structure through there, but in general, that's gonna work out just fine. Okay, so now it's time to build up the page. Yay! So I've got my art glitter glue here, and I will just use that to attach everything to the page. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue this February onto this piece of the label that I've cut out of a piece of paper from Reminiscence, the book 2, I think, from the top of my head. There we go. And I'll just put that on this label. I love this script, this small detail, the small letters in here, the fun font. It's really nice to... And I'm not going to use adhesive. I'm going to use quite a lot of glue on here because of the structure on the page. So I'm not going to use my Elizabeth Craft Design tape for this. I will just do it like this. And then I will put some... a fun ticket behind. I need my tweezers for that. Just gonna slide that under here. Press it down. And then I've got this fun little label, which was also cut out of the Reminiscence, the book. Just gonna etch that a bit. A lot of people ask, why do you etch the edges? Well, it gives dimension to it, and it also gives it a bit of a grungy vintage look, which I like. So that's why I do that. And I'm going to put this hello under here as well. Hello February, the other way around. Put that here. Now I don't want to cover up too much of this page, simply because it's about the numbers, and the numbers are already a lot of impact there. So I'm going to put this 2 here below. As you probably have seen in my January, I have the same kind of number, this number and this. And that's sort of what I want to do throughout the year. I've got 1 to 12 cut out of Reminiscence, the book, as well. So that's going to be the whole theme coming back the whole year. So I'm going to glue this one down first. Yeah, I know I'm covering up some of the numbers, but that's the whole idea. There's nothing we can do about that. Next I'm going to put down this. I'm not gluing it completely to the sides because I want to be able to put some things under there. But I wanted some of this coming under, peeking out under there. So I've got this fun little ticket again that I'm going to put on there. It's going to be here. And then this is important. Again, this is done with one of the label stamps. I'm going to put that over here. Just pick it under. There we go. And then I've got this one, and I want to put this one over here. So I'm going to put some glue on that. Now this would have been smarter if I would have cut this out with the adhesive on the back, but I didn't. I'm not smart, so that didn't happen. Right, let's put that on here. And that can go like this. Okay, now what I was thinking, I would like to do something with a fine liner around this, just a bit around here. So I'm going to do that. Just some scribbly lines. Like that. And then I'm just going to put some that pulls in the black a bit. And then I need some hole reinforcers. I'm going to make a combination. I see another one that I like. And do I have enough of those? I have exactly 3. Right, I need to cut some more. I know. There we go. Put that to the side. And then I will put them on. And I always think that when you put on the hole reinforcers, that brings it all together, right? It really finishes a page off. It pulls it together, especially I like that with the black. There we go. 3 more to go. They're on there perfectly. So that's that. Now I just quickly want to etch around the page using vintage photo because, well, I like that, and I like that style. I like to bring it all together, and I think it finishes off the page. And it draws the attention because it's darker on the outside, it draws the attention more to the inside. And that's what we want, because that's where we put in all the hard work with putting in all these numbers. Now, last but definitely not least, I want to do some white splatters. But first, let me close my glue before that goes to waste. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna do it this way around, I think. Never done this before. I saw Esther do this. I think Esther did it this way, but for some reason I can't do that. There we go. That's enough. I'm using a Posca pen to do that and another Posca pen to bang on it. I saw that at one of the lives from Esther Glas. I'm pretty sure a lot of you already knew this trick, but for me it was a first. So, okay, just quickly gonna dry that. Because knowing me, I'll smudge that everywhere. And there we have it. My February dashboard. But it's one bird with two stones because I've also done the prompt numbers. So I really like how this turned out. We'll put it in my planner. Of course, there will be more here. But I think if you put something in a planner, it always looks better, right? There we go. That's February in the planner. I really like how this came out. I love the structure and the depth in the background from the Oxide sprays, but I also love this structure on the numbers with the Crackle paste and the embossing powder. So I really hope you like this. I will put a full list of products used in the description bar. These are affiliate links, so if you want to buy something, I would really appreciate it if you use one of these links. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you for the next one. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you again. Bye!